What?
Alright guys, what's going on? So I think we have reached about as close to gimbal perfection as we possibly can get with the DJI Ronin RSC-2, and I say that as someone who uses gimbals all the time. I'm sure you've seen them in my stuff all the time, including some recent ones. However, nothing has come as close to perfection as this one right here, and I say that as someone who didn't really love the first version of this. It was just missing some features that really kept it from being amazing. However, all of that has changed now. I also have the Ronin RSC-2 coming in soon, so hang with me for that. I'll take these out for a few shoots, but I do want to kind of run you through some of the features on this, show you a bit about the hardware and some of it that makes it amazing. Also, I have some links to purchase or check out the accessories below. I really think that when you get to the end of this video, you'll want to pick one of these up too. But let's take a look at this. This is the DJI Ronin RSC-2. So this is definitely the most ergonomically friendly gimbal I have ever used. The grip feels amazing. It is this really nice rubberized material. You have a trigger on the front. I really like having those, and a scroll wheel, kind of unusual for a gimbal like this, but really well placed. On the back, we do have one of the best joysticks I have seen. Also, you have a record button and a mode button, which are very easy to press and great tactile feedback. On the other side, we do have a power switch and a USB-C for charging it. And then we also have some buttons on the other side for controlling and accessing some of the menus. So you can click and scroll this wheel right here. Really, really cool. So definitely my two favorite features on this are going to be that trigger. I love having the trigger because it allows me to quickly just hit it, go into a locked mode, and I use this all the time when using the gimbal in a bunch of different moves. Double click that, it goes back to center. Triple click it, you can go into a selfie mode, which I don't use, but you can disable that in the menu, and I did that real quick just to prevent accidentally hitting it. Now the screen itself shows me everything I need to know. It shows me the mode I'm in, the speeds, the battery life, just amazing to have that on there. But the main reason I love it is I can actually navigate through the menu system right on the gimbal, don't have to plug into my phone, and be able to control virtually every aspect of this gimbal right there. So pretty much phone free for almost everything that you would need it for, and that's one of the reasons that I love having a screen. Hate whipping out my phone in the middle of a shoot to be able to control some parameters. So really cool to be able to just use it. Really good controls right here. It's not a touch screen and it's kind of a smaller screen, but I'm fine using this menu system. It's tactile and it works. So overall, a really great experience being able to control this thing. Now looking up at the top, there's way more adjustment in this gimbal than there was in the previous version, which I'm really glad we have now. Now I will say that with a setup like this, which is a R5 with a, actually I've used it with the 24-105 and I've used it with the 15-35 with a mic attachment on it. It works really well. I'm pretty much maxed out on some of the adjustments I have, so don't expect to fit this with a battery grip probably, or any larger cameras like, 1DXs and Blackmagics and things like that. That you're gonna need the larger gimbal. I wouldn't mind a little bit more room on being able to adjust things, but overall it fits pretty much every mirrorless camera that I've tested just fine, and the weight even with 15-35 or 24-72/8 is no issue as well. Now definitely my favorite feature is this dual locking tripod plate mechanism right here, and I first saw this on the Feiyutech gimbals. I think it was the AK-4500. A lot of other ones have them right now, but not everyone. And it is absolutely amazing. You can slide this out. This is an Arca Swiss plate, and when you put the camera in, it will hard stop on you. And that is great because if you need to remove the camera, do some handheld shooting, change the battery, you lock it back in, click it in, and in 5 seconds, this thing is back to go, no adjustment needed for it. Now we also have another plate on the front, and this is Manfrotto standard and allows me to pull this entire mechanism out, and you could also go to a Manfrotto tripod on this. So this gives you some adjustments. If you do pull it out from this plate, when you do put it back in, you do have to kind of get it to that next level adjustment. So not as quick of a removal as using the Arca Swiss. So if you're going between tripod plates, just kind of keep that in mind. But overall, an amazing system in here. I love having these. I love putting these on any tripod. As soon as I can get some spare ones of these, I'll pick up 5 of them and I'll put them on every tripod because it is so amazing to be able to just quick release and go between Arca Swiss and Manfrotto all the time, and something I like on every gimbal. Glad to see they have it on this. So the other huge advantage to this is that it actually gives you some spacing between your lens and your tripod plate, because you know these small mirrorless cameras with these larger lenses, usually the lens will actually come beyond the body of the camera. So having this kind of a riser system not only makes it easy for quick removal, but it also makes sure that your Manfrotto plate never touches the actual lens. So basically all around, this is a huge improvement when it comes to functionality. So we also have some locks on all 3 axes, and they're multi-position too, which is nice. You can lock the camera in a variety of different positions. My only critique would be that they're a little bit small and kind of in some hard to reach places. So like this one right here. The good news is I never accidentally lock it while shooting, which I do all the time on my Crane 2S. So really, I probably don't have an issue with this, but it'll take me a little bit to kind of get used to the location of these. In fact, if I was to try to nitpick this at all, which is really difficult to do, the thumb screws are great for kind of staying out of the way, but they are more difficult to tighten very well, like these kind of latches right here. And then also, this is the knob right here for being able to fold this up. Not something that I use all the time, and it's kind of a very large knob and a little intrusive. Now you can kind of click this out of the way a little bit, but I never accidentally touch it, but it is a really big knob that kind of gets in the way for something I wouldn't use all that often. And the screen could maybe be a little bit larger. Some of them have touch screens, but again, we're nitpicking here. Overall functionality wise, this thing works amazingly well, and I'm really digging it. Now the app itself obviously can get in there and control all your advanced settings in there. It's pretty user-friendly too. Some simple presets, or you can go in there and select custom, dial in all your settings. You can also configure basically everything from the gimbal itself using that screen, and this is why I can't live without it. But something you will need your phone for is these absolutely crazy awesome modes on the SC. So head to the Create tab in the app. You're gonna get joystick control or Force Mobile, and this actually allows you to tilt your phone to control the gimbal. And at first I thought this was gonna be something, I don't know, kind of worthless and not gonna give me great accuracy, but I am telling you, this is so accurate and incredibly smooth. This mode is so good, I'll be all over this. Also, what's really nice is when you're changing your modes from the dial right here, you are not just selecting like your mode from pan follow to full follow, you are also selecting whatever custom features you want. So all of your speeds, whatever your smoothness settings are for each of those settings, those are also being recalled here. So really awesome on that one. And it kind of made me wish that I had more than 3 different choices on there, which you kind of do. What you can do is actually hold that button down and it goes into a high speed mode. Now that high speed mode is connected to the mode you're in. So if you're in a pan follow mode, when you hold that down, you'll still only be accessing your pan mode. However, it'll be quick. And if you want to hold that in your pan follow mode, or just follow modes where you're following on all 3 axes, it will make all 3 axes fast. So basically I tend to control or program in some slower, smoother moves. And if I ever do need to get some quick follow modes on there, I can just hold that button down and get that, or lock modes, hold down the joystick, and you are good to go. Now probably the coolest new feature on this is being able to fold this up, which a lot of other small gimbals will not do at all. So all you have to do is release this dial right here, and this entire thing really gets incredibly small, and this obviously comes off right here. So you can really pack this thing down for easy storage. In fact, this gimbal right here, compared to the Crane 2S, is incredibly small. So amazing that they're able to get such an amazing gimbal into this kind of size, where even the Crane 2S is a pretty small gimbal and compact compared to some of the other ones, and it is still incredibly small. Now, when it comes to actually using this in the field, I did just get it yesterday, so I haven't been able to take it out on some serious shoots, but this is something DJI has been doing amazingly well for years. They've been doing gimbals, and this seems like no exception to that. I'm really excited to take it out. Again, I got the Ronin S coming in, so feel free to follow me over on Insta at Learning Cameras if you want to see the shoots we're taking with this. Stay tuned, some cool videos with this and the Ronin S-2 coming out soon, so subscribe. Please like this video if you want to. Check out the links below. So hope you guys are doing amazingly well, and I'll see you soon with that Ronin S-2.